A robot just got kicked so hard, its head came clean off, and it kept fighting anyway. This isn't a movie clip. This happened 2 days ago in Shenzhen, China, at the world's first full-contact MMA tournament for humanoid robots. Real kicks, real knockouts, and one robot that lost its literal head mid-fight and just kept throwing punches until the match ended. I'm going to break down what actually happened, the AI systems that made it possible, and why this competition matters a lot more than the viral highlight clip. This is Zero to AI. Let's get into it. On July 16th, a Chinese robotics company called Engine AI launched something called URKL, Ultimate Robot Knockout Legend, at the Shenzhen Nanshan Cultural and Sports Center. Actor Donnie Yen was in the crowd. 200 teams from 10 countries entered. After qualifiers, 32 finalist teams competed, including squads from Stanford, Berkeley, Tsinghua, and the University of Hong Kong. Prize pool, 10 million yuan, about $1.5 million. Every team fought using the same base robot, Engine AI's T800, standing 5'8", weighing 75 kilograms with its battery. Teams could customize armor and mechanical tweaks, but the core robot and its AI was standardized across the entire competition. That's an important detail. This wasn't about whoever had the biggest budget. It was about whoever built the smartest fighting software on top of identical hardware. Here's the fight everyone's talking about. During one of the bouts, a robot took a head-high kick with enough force to completely separate its head from its torso. In a human fight, that's the match. Instead, the robot kept going, throwing punches, absorbing hits, staying upright, using its torso-mounted systems to keep fighting, even after losing its head-based sensors entirely. According to the organizers, that wasn't a glitch. It was the point. The T800 is built with what's called structural redundancy, meaning critical control systems aren't only located in one place. Lose the head, and the torso can still run the show. That's a deliberate engineering decision, not an accident, and it's exactly the kind of real-world stress test you can't fully simulate. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside this robot, because the specs are genuinely impressive. The T800 has 29 degrees of freedom across its body, plus 7 more in each hand for fine motor control. Its joint motors generate up to 450 Newton meters of torque, enough for flying kicks, spinning maneuvers, and fast direction changes. An active cooling system in the leg joints lets it run at high intensity for up to 4 hours on a modular solid-state battery. For perception, it's running 360-degree LiDAR combined with stereo vision cameras, processing its environment in milliseconds to track an opponent's position and incoming strikes. All of that gets processed by an onboard computer pairing an Intel chip with an NVIDIA AGX Orin module, delivering 275 TOPS of AI compute, putting real, meaningful AI horsepower directly inside a robot that's simultaneously trying not to fall over while someone tries to kick its head off. And here's the part that matters most for anyone who cares about robotics, not just highlight clips. Robots weren't just scored on who won. Judges evaluated striking accuracy, balance, defensive movement, and overall durability. This competition is explicitly designed as a real-world stress test for the exact AI systems companies need for warehouses, factories, and eventually home robots. Balance under unpredictable conditions, rapid recovery from falls, split-second decision-making when something goes wrong. It's easy to watch a decapitated robot still throwing punches and just laugh. Fair enough, it's a genuinely wild clip. But there's a real strategy behind why a serious robotics company is doing this. Every one of these matches generates data you simply cannot get from a controlled lab environment. Real impacts, real falls, real unpredictable movement from an opponent actively trying to knock you down. Industry experts are already pointing out that standardizing every team onto the same T800 hardware lowers the barrier for smaller teams and universities to compete on AI software alone, which is exactly the kind of open competition that tends to accelerate a field fast. The flip side, and it's worth being honest about it, some experts are raising a real concern that optimizing a humanoid robot specifically for combat could pull development attention away from the more mundane, more useful applications these robots are actually meant for: logistics, hospitality, elder care, factory work. A robot that's great at throwing an uppercut isn't automatically a robot that's great at stocking shelves. So, no, this wasn't just a viral stunt. It was a genuine, if slightly chaotic, real world test of the exact balance, perception, and decision making systems that are going to end up in the humanoid robots working in warehouses and homes over the next few years. The decapitation clip is just the part that got everyone's attention. This is the opening event of a full season. The next stage runs through August, with finals at the end of the year. We'll be watching. Subscribe to Zero to AI if you want to see where this goes next. And tell me in the comments, is robot combat actually useful R&D, or is this just entertainment wearing a lab coat? See you in the next one.